I have a really big headache right now. Like, oh my gosh. I don't even know what to say. This video is probably going to be all over the place just because I feel all over the place right now. I mean, it's like we're in one of those movies and they show people hunkered down and, express the passing of time. And we're just kind of in the middle of it. We don't get to fast forward. We don't get to have a fun little montage instead of wading through it. We have to wade through it. And this is hard. Hi, I'm Rachel Lynn. I'm working on getting out of my student loan debt. I'm also here to give you tips, tricks, inspiration, and motivation along your debt-free journey. Right now, things are different. Things are very, very different. Things are hard and difficult. And we just have to bear down and get through them. I have some other friends here on YouTube, and I agreed to do this collab where we just talk about how the current things going on in our world are affecting us right now. The interesting thing about these YouTube friends of mine, we all talk about financial things, but at the same time, we all do very, very different things. One of us works in the healthcare field, one of us works in the service industry, one of us works in corporate, and there's just like we work all over the place when it comes to the things that we do. I will leave everybody down below in the description, everybody that is participating, and you can go and watch their videos, and I know that we all have a very, very unique perspective. I am a teacher. I teach second grade at a private Christian school. I have 25 kids this year, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with this class. They're a hard class. They have a lot of needs, and it has been very, very difficult, and it has been even more difficult for me because I didn't become their teacher until after Thanksgiving. So I've only had these kids for just a few months, and here we are. This is the 4th day out of school, and I miss them terribly. This is so hard. I am teaching school from home, or at least this week from my classroom. We are allowed in this week. Next week, we are not allowed in school. They are supposed to be cleaning and sanitizing and doing all of that stuff over the next couple of weeks. So our kids had 2 days as like snow days, and then we had to get busy teaching Wednesday, and then today is our 2nd day, actually. Just to make this clear, I am filming this on Thursday, March, I don't even know what day it is. It's Thursday, March 19th. I just say that because every single day it just seems like is completely different. And so had I recorded this video 3 days ago, I would have been a lot more hopeful and a lot more upbeat than I am right now. I think I'm personally spending way too much time reading things on Facebook and just feeling the weight of a lot of people, and so I need to stop that. I am telling you how I'm doing, but I want to know how you're doing. How are you faring? Are you still getting paid? Are you still working? I'd love to know about that, so leave me a comment down below. I apologize for my lack of hope. I think I'm just very, very upset that I'm not seeing my class, and I'm scared that I won't see them the rest of this year. It has been amazing to see how far my students have come since I've been their teacher in just the last few months that I've had with them. We had so much further to go. I am teaching from home, I guess you can say, and I am giving my parents lesson plans and instructions for the students to carry on at home. For the most part, things are going pretty well. Technology is a bit burdened, so there are some glitchy things, but we're actually used to that, and we have this thing in the classroom when the technology is not working, and I go, technology, and then the whole kids go, technology, and just thinking about that makes me feel better. So every morning I'm giving them a video message, and I'm talking to them. For me, I'm pretty lucky, I guess you could say. I am in several Facebook groups, a lot of different teacher groups, and I've actually heard from other teachers where they're not getting paid, they're not, they're expected to still teach, even though their students and their families don't have access to things. And so I feel very, very blessed and lucky to be in a school where just about every one of my students has the capabilities to log in. I am a little concerned about a couple of my students, and so I do plan to actually reach out to them through a phone call. For the most part, like, we're going to be okay. I am continuing to work, and I'm also getting paid. Not only that, but everyone in our school, even hourly employees, they are still continuing to be paid. We also still have our benefits contributed to. Our 401ks and retirement plans are still being contributed to, so that is all very, very good news. This time of year for me, I work a couple of seasonal jobs, and I work at Keeneland Racetrack in April, and I work at Churchill Downs for the Kentucky Derby, and then also just for the live race meet in May and June. Keeneland has canceled their spring meet, so there is no racing in April. That is several $100s that I will not be able to add on to my debt repayment. Churchill Downs has postponed the Kentucky Derby, and that is also a lot of money. I mean, just working Oaks and Derby for me, that right there is like $1,000. Plus I make tips, which usually end up being close to $1,000 in tips in those few days that I work. So that right there is another like $2,000 at least that I'll be missing out on. Then I also work the rest of the meet at Churchill Downs and make several hundred more dollars, including tips that I don't really count that, but I do kind of count on the tips over Derby. That's a lot of money. That is actually the way that I'm doing my debt payoff. That's actually several months that puts me behind. As disappointing as that is, I realize that I am extremely blessed that it's just debt payoff money that I'm missing out on. There are others that are completely out of work, not making any money at all, and still have to pay bills. I live at home with my parents, so bills are covered. I do pay my parents' rent, but I have plenty of extra money. My parents are both retired. They have mentioned something about their 401ks and their investments that they have in the stock market and how that has gone way down. And my dad was like, I might have to go back to work. And he says this in jest, but it's a concern there. Like I mentioned, I have only been with my class since December. So I was actually out of work from the end of May until December, and I was working some odd jobs here and there, doing a couple of variety of different things, and to kind of like help me get through. And I also had a stockpile of money that was there just in case. Well, all of that money was just transferred to an account to be paid towards my student loans. It is, I do believe, over $9,000 that I have ready to go to pay towards student loans. I am currently still about $40,000 in student loan debt, so that would really, really knock out a big, huge chunk of change in those loans. But I haven't paid that money, and I'm hesitant to do that, and I don't know if I should be hesitant, because I do know that I have, at least for right now, I have a steady income, and it is coming in, and I don't know if I should be fearful like I am and not pay it, or if I should just go ahead and just pay down that student loan debt. It's just scary to think, like, if I let go of the money that I have and then something happens and I don't have a job anymore because we can't go back to work, we don't know what's going to happen. I'm just like, just the weight of the world, it just feels like it's in my head, and I have this huge headache, and I have a tendency sometimes to be a worrier, and I have done very well so far not worrying, and now all of a sudden, because things just keep changing so fast, I can't help but worry, and I feel like I have to. Like, we have to worry about this. We have to have a plan. We have to know what's going on. This video was also inspired by another friend of mine, Mary, from Penny's Not Perfection. She did a video and was very thrilled to know that we were all going to be doing a video about how we're doing. And I want to kind of like guide you to that video where she talks about making it through difficult times like this. And you have to have hope, you have to prepare, but you know, don't let things bring you completely down. And so I need to stop that. That video is also linked below along with everyone else in the collab because she's kind of a part of it and she kind of kickstarted the whole thing. My 401k, I haven't even looked at it, honestly. I'm not worried about it. I am a long way away from retirement, so I'm not concerned. My parents have a reason to be concerned. They are retired. They are kind of depending on that for right now. But I'm not concerned about mine. I kind of see it as I'm getting a good deal in the stock market right now. And, you know, that's going to really help me out in the future. I also have a big part of me is also very tempted to say I should be putting my own money in the stock market. I should be taking some of that money instead of putting it towards debt, and I should invest it in the stock market right now while it's a really, really good deal since it's gone down. And I mean, I don't think I'm going to do that, but it is very tempting knowing that it will come up, it will get better, it's going to be okay. We just have to make it through right now. So along with my side jobs being kind of somewhat canceled or at the very least postponed, which I don't know what that means for me and I don't know what that means for them, I was also looking into getting a part-time job with the US Census. I was actually supposed to have a training today, Thursday, and Friday. That got canceled. Even though they called me Wednesday morning and I said, "Are you sure we're still going to have it?" And they said yes. And then they called me Wednesday evening and I was kind of like, I knew we weren't going to have it. That's another job that I'm missing out on because of this. It's hard, but I am still very lucky. I have a huge emergency fund. I actually bumped my emergency fund up from $500 to $1,000 once I transferred all the money over to the account to be paid to my student loans. I kept some money back so that I had $1,000 emergency fund instead of just $500 like I used to have. And I only had $500 because I'm living at home and my expenses are low and I have extra support, but just something in me just said you need $1,000. I am actually a strong proponent that most people need more than $1,000 in an emergency fund, but the truth of the matter is most people don't. They don't even have a couple $100s. So that is disheartening to know that there are people out there really, really, really struggling, and I am very, very lucky that I have this money. And not only that, but I've already told you I have over $9,000 that's ready to be paid towards my student loans, and I'm holding on to that right now, and I don't think that I need to. I'm going to be okay financially. I know that, but I worry for those that aren't. But how am I doing mentally? A few days ago, I would have said I was fine. Today, it just keeps getting worse. I plan on taking some time this coming weekend to just detach from everything. I want to just play some movies and not worry about anything. As far as a worry for myself, getting sick, I don't know how worried you are about getting sick yourself, but I'm not worried about me. I'm young-ish and I am in fairly good health, and so I'm not worried about me. But I mentioned that I live with my parents. Both of them are retired. They're both older. My dad's in okay health, but my mom is not. She needs a transplant. She actually needs a kidney and a liver, and I've talked about that many times on my channel. And so I worry about her more than anything else. I don't want to bring anything home to her. I don't want her to get sick because I don't think that she could survive it. So I'm not worried about me, I'm just worried about her. So looking forward, we don't know what's going to happen. Nobody does. And we just continue to go on in a new way. I have been teaching from from school, but soon I'll be teaching from actual home. And, you know, this is a pretty decent time in history to have this need for social distancing. We can distance ourselves physically, but we're still there for each other. I'm here for you. I hope that you're here for me. I'm still here for my students, even though I can't be there and even though they can't be here. We're still here for each other. This whole social media thing, it's actually really coming in handy right now. For now, I will just end this by saying stay healthy, stay positive, and when things start weighing on you, take a moment, separate yourself from the situation, and just let your mind be. I think I'm going to go watch a movie when I get home today. Don't forget to let me know how you're doing down below in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.